do have a topic, so let's do this. Welcome to the graffiti jungle. Paulo Pulingue. Benvenuti nella giungla del graffiti. Questo è Impostore, a Rockstar, a podcast with Gihareh. Sono il tuo capo. Io sono Chief Gihareh Julius Caesar Carrell. Alright. So, Lil Zane. No, not Lil Wayne. Lil Zane. Is let me get my charger. Okay. So let's get into this. Let's try this out here. Got a little topic for tonight's discussion. So, Lil Zane, pictured here, tries to convince his wife, Ashley, pictured here, not to get her breasts done because he doesn't want her to. He says, "Do my feelings even matter? I'm your husband." So it's uh, it's weird. It was not weird, but you would have thought, right? You would have thought that this wasn't a potentially, right? In such a way that I'm not sure. Let me try to. You wouldn't think it would. I mean, yes, it's a big deal, right? Yes, it's a big deal. Now, there's a couple of things, factors, scenarios at play here. Now, one, she is a little, she's a little flabbergasted. Her flabber is gasted, you know, because she's been telling him for a while that that's what she wants to do. She's talking about she has this mom body, and her body, her choice type shit, right? Now he even at some point has to concede, like, it is, what I'm saying, your body, and you get to do what you want with it. I gotta respect the decision what you do with your body. You know what I'm saying? So he does have to, what I'm saying, say that. And but he before that though, he says a couple, things is like because you hold on, you would think that it's about some type of insecurity, right? And and so some people like, where does it lie? Does it lie on his side or her side? And he's sitting there like, have I ever complained anything? He was like, no, I've never complained, what I'm saying, about that. Um, he said, I be sucking on them things. That ain't, I ain't never, what I'm saying? So he's sitting there saying like, I'm cool with, you know, how your body looks. And he was like, right now, I'm actually trying to encourage you from not, what I'm saying, to alter it in any type of way. I want you to keep it natural. You know what I'm saying? So he is saying that. He is that is his stance. He wants her to, stay natural. He wants her to stay natural. But for her, She is now. You can't tell from this one. You can't tell from this one. Um, but that's why I even chose this one. Let's just say that Natty. I ain't understand that word until uh, Cam Newton when Cam Newton was talking about those people who like whatchamacallit and then you're like, yo, they just come out of nowhere. The dude who was uh, dipping his face in water and waking up at whatever time and rubbing banana peels on his face, and then he's all of a sudden out here running with DJ Khaled. He lost to a race with Speed twice in a row. That guy, you know what I'm saying? And but when Cam Newton seen it, Cam Newton was like, he looked at him, was like, "Are you natty? Are you natural?" You know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing to be whatchamacallit, but built not bought. You know, you know how people was looking at like Drake. They was looking at Drake. Drake tried to post some visual doing something. It was like, yeah, it still ain't adding up. There was like the ratio between this and that, and yeah, I see some abs, but I also see some back fat. It was like the shit ain't adding up. It's not natural, and bro. And it's like to skip working out, bro. It's it's the things that people are doing just to skip working out, bro, and exercising, and just to avoid that, like the extra work. And it's like the money, right? You got the money, and money. You pay enough money, you ain't gotta do a work. You just pay for a degree. You just pay a little extra money to not do the work, but get yourself an honorary degree. But I even showed this one, like looking at like she's not someone, and is it's those as like if you can tell here, and you might not be able to tell for real, but she ain't no A and it ain't a D, and so it's decent, bruh. Like for real. BC is cool. BC is cool. Yeah, now, cause there's this one girl, and for the way she do her content and whatnot, I understand now. But that's her. If you lead with that, that's your thing. That's your thing. Like so, she be trying to show off her fits and whatnot. But it's a nice rack, right? And but she admitted to like saying she had her breasts done, but her one thing is she would go back. She would she would go to like a C, or I think she would like stop at like the C or something. Like after a point there is a time like what do you want to do? Like what are you trying to accomplish? But for her, hers is not like it's not like it does come down to like, well, what are you trying to do? Like, what is for what? You know. Now, he says he ain't got no problem with it. He says he ain't got no problem with it. Like he's trying to encourage. Like he's telling her that he likes her body as is, and she like for her it's just that. So then what I'm saying, he makes a couple points. He said the tight face crew. He said, see, because she took a friend with her, a friend who already had this same surgery. So do you think this friend's gonna talk you out of it? He was like, why you ain't take me? You know what I'm saying? He's like, why you ain't take me with you? She's like, cause she had a consultation, and And so just whatchamacallit, it's like the ones who have had certain surgeries, you know, abort missions, what would they, are they going to sway or dissuade, you know, somebody behind them? It's a topic. They, you see what I'm saying? Like they, it's not that they would sway or dissuade. Not, it's not that, hold on. They're more than likely going to, they're not going to say you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to say that you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. And that was one of his things. He was like, yo, you brought somebody who already had one, that same whatchamacallit, so she is a proponent. She's not going to dissuade you from it. And so it was interesting, you know. Well, it wasn't interesting. It was just, it just didn't make you understand, like, why she would still want it. Her husband isn't complaining, you know, about her body or anything like that. And then it then the other part that just makes you like wonder what any and all of this is like, you know, some people, for some people to like work out and it like it's one of those, it just kind of like, I don't know, there people who have like certain types of money and schedules and lifestyles, why they are, it would seem like, well, why the hell are don't you work out, aren't you physically fit? And like, because you have money, so you have the resources to, even if you're not self-motivated, get a trainer, um, or any of that, you know. But I haven't really seen too many pictures of her. But from what I've seen, and from like, it doesn't seem like she don't look like she needs, you know what I'm saying, work done. Now, I mean, yeah, those my things is, I'm assuming like they're celebrities or something like on TV. I don't know what show this is. This was on, I saw it on Threads, so I'm not sure like what show or what this is. But in my mind, it seems like they got the money, which means they can afford to have the time to like work out, you know. And that's one of the things with, and in, okay, prime example, Tyler. Most people would right now agree that Tyler has a decent body, but nothing on her body really pops out for real, you know what I'm saying? She's just thin. She's thin, slightly curvy. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the, it's one of those like, work out first. Work out, and you know, working out doesn't necessarily, it ain't just like overnight results, but again, like you would think with the money and everything that they have, that they could potentially just, because she don't look out of shape at all. I'm just saying, look, bro, she don't look out of shape. So it literally is, what I would say, like, get some money, not get some money, but if you need a trainer, get a trainer. But if not, legit, let's just work out. Do what they say to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people saying working out and this that, and third. Like, there's no secret sauce to this shit. It all, you just know you're supposed to eat right. Eat your salads and chicken salads, and you know what I'm saying, bro. Eat your salad with some protein, and instead of the snacks, replace your snacks with some almonds and stuff, some fruits and your veggies and your water, and just stick to that. Your water and your juices and whatnot for like you know what I'm saying, a couple months. And bro, see how your body looks, see how you feel then. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. And that, like, you know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. If you have, you know, your husband. Now the only thing, that people were saying. Now I don't know much about, you know what I'm saying, Paul, but she does make a comment to talk about that he be coming home at like 3, 4 in the morning from the club and whatnot. Some people in the comments were saying that he's cheated multiple times on her with women whose bodies look like what she's trying to obtain or something like that. Now, that that's the other side, you know. But before I get into that, there was one point she had made like she was like, "Well, why you grow your hair out?" He was like, "This my regular natural hair. It ain't like I'm putting a wig on." Yeah, you see what I'm saying? She tried to say something else. Why you wearing these gold chains and this and third? It was like, hmm. She tried to say like, I guess she tried to. I guess her point was about the aesthetics that he's trying to that he has or what I don't know. The hair one was like a loss because it was like that's his natural hair, and so he just grew his hair out. Like you can't really say none of that. But the chains um, and the jewelry, that was one thing. Now, uh, it was that it was just a null and void point to like kind of make because you know you see like she has well that's her wedding ring, but those are just accent pieces to a outfit. So it's like you see what I'm saying? Like those that's why it was like weak points for her to even like throw out there and try to make. Now the only other thing though is if he has been or has cheated on her with women who have certain body types, that ain't her. How do I say her obtaining this whatever? Like it don't. Like I just had we just had a segment about that. That's not going to again like what I'm saying is that I don't know if he had people in the comments said that he's cheated. But if he's cheated, then that's just something. That's just a choice that he's made. You know what I'm saying? And just because she would start to look like those type of what you call it doesn't mean that he would stop. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. It those aren't again like a cheater is cheating based off of opportunity. They don't need a reason to. You know what I'm saying? That's just a choice that he's gonna have to just make anyway. But he did not complain about her body, hers personally. You know, because and I'll say it in this way then. If that was a point of whatever for him, then he would be okay with it. You know, if that was the thing, if it was something physically about her, and she wanted to change, and it was something that I'll just say, just for a regular ass conversation, something that he disliked about her physically, and she was willing to make that change and do whatever. It's something that he probably wouldn't push back on, but he probably would have gave her like an alternate solution. Okay, you want to try this or try that first. You see what I'm saying? I don't know about the breast thing, but he doesn't have a complaint about the breast. He doesn't have a complaint about that. So it's not whatever. It really is. If you have a person, because for some women they don't have that person, you know. But if you got a husband that likes and enjoys your body, then there has to be some other reason that you would want to do it. And this is where it goes to one of those, I'm not sure why, you know what I'm saying? But how do I say this? It's like, okay, here's an example, right? So when I had my Jeep, there's like a bumper. I'm pretty sure it's a bumper. I don't even know what it's called anymore. But it's something that you can put on the front of your Jeep, and it's like it has like it's like a triangle type shit. And people would say, "Well, why'd you get it?" Right? My response. Well, matter of fact, let me tell you like this: the response that you could give to somebody was, "Oh well, when you're mudding or on trails or something, the Jeep has a propensity; it could roll over." And so, in the case that you were going to roll forward, it has this triangle shape so that instead of rolling all the way forward, you would roll off to the side, you know? Because, people go up and down hills and stuff with Jeeps and whatnot. So, but I was like, no, I think it looks cool, and that's why I wanted it. It'd be shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And there's another reason that she actually wants her breast done, and she should say that, and then that would lead to another conversation. And again, it's for what though? Because um, if you have somebody who likes your body as is, like if he's saying you likes your body as is, and there's something that you're not liking about it, I don't know. I don't know what her sit there look like this and that for what you call it, and work, and then because working out isn't gonna like fix that, so it depending on whatever, however, what you call it. So I don't know. It does come down to do you just want to do it just for what are you trying to what looks are you trying to attract to something? I don't know. You have to sit down and ask a girl what you call it, but and basically I'm saying like there's a basic superficial ass reason that needs to be said so that it can be like okay, you know what, all right, boom, can't argue, you can't argue with it because it's that like that's the actual truth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the actual truth. um but it was this is one of those you like you just didn't expect to have somebody, on the man's side to sit there and say, yo, I like you as is, and she's still trying to go get this surgery. So that was the thing. That was the thing. Let me know what you think.